It's the open mic with Dr. Mike. The open radio and the Mike Prince Show. The open mic broadcast network. The open mic broadcast network.
It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to Football Friday. Man, it seems like the time just speeds along, yet here we are again. Of course, our social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, are all at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. The website, obnradio.com. Our 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And without any further delay, we are going to jump right to today's episode. It is definitely a lot going on. Still absorbing the naming of Dr. Donald Reed as the athletic director for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Don't forget, we have him scheduled for a live interview here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network on Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll get a chance to talk to the doctor, find out exactly the direction and the order of attack that he has under his belt. So be sure to join us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Sunday night live edition of the Mike Prince Show. So much has happened throughout the course of this week. We ran a poll. We'll share those results with you in just a moment. But there are so many things that are going on. Congratulations to Athletic Director Ashley Robertson. He was just appointed president for the year of 2021 within the NCAA Athletic Directors Association. He is the first African American to be appointed that title of president. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Jackson State, and congratulations to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Speaking of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, there have been more canceled Classic games. The Motor City Classic between Tennessee State and Southern University has been canceled, just as the Southern Heritage Classic has been canceled between Tennessee State and Jackson State. A lot of money down the tubes, if you would. But that's to be expected when you have the pandemic rolling around as such. So many things are being thrown out that fans have gotten confused. Players have even gotten confused at this point. The bottom line is, it's not looking as if it's going to be a favorable time to try to gather the athletes back for the 2020 campaign, which goes into our poll for this week. We'll break that down in just a moment. We'll take a break and bring you more of Football Friday right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We'll hear the Southland Report from our good old buddy, Rob Butler. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back. It's innovative. It's encouragement. It's empowerment. It's informative. It's inspirational. It's The Journey, a talk show that is guaranteed to come to you from a different perspective. Coming soon, The Journey, another production of the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I'd like to take this time to recognize our sponsors and supporters at the Open Mic Broadcast Network: Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Prairie View Athletic Club, Attorney Lee Van Richardson, Farmers Insurance of Hempstead, Texas, Diva Skin Conditioner, Helping Hands Lawn Service. Thank you for your support of our local and regional coverage of student athletics here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
This is Rob Butler with his Southland Report. The Northwestern State Demons play in-state FBS Louisiana Tech in 2023. The game is scheduled for Saturday, September 9th in Ruston with a $400,000 guaranteed payout to Northwestern State. The 2023 meeting will be the 80th between the two programs. Louisiana Tech holds a 54-20 lead over Northwestern State, while 5 other games have ended in ties. The teams last met in 2017 when Louisiana Tech used a 21-point fourth quarter to pull away from the Demons to win 52-24. Louisiana Tech has an FCS opponent on their schedule for the next 4 seasons. 3 of those, including Northwestern State, hail from the Southland Conference. The Bulldogs face Southeastern Louisiana in 2021 and Stephen F. Austin in 2022. Speaking of Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks and Kansas Jayhawks will meet for a game in 2025. The 2 teams have not met before in football. The Lumberjacks will receive a guarantee of $450,000 for the game. A specific date was not specified for the game, but it is reasoned they will play the opening weekend of the 2025 season. SFA will play SMU in 2020, Texas Tech in 2021, Louisiana Tech in 2022, Troy in 2023, and North Texas in 2024, in addition to Kansas in 2025. The game against Troy in 2023 was announced last week. That's Rob Butler, Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show, Football Friday edition. Of course, we come to you each and every day with the world of athletics, at least from a different perspective. And speaking of a different perspective, it was announced this week that the Southwestern Athletic Conference will have a virtual media day beginning July 22nd through the 24th. It was originally scheduled for July 16th, but now they've broken it down to 3 days. And when I heard this, I was like, obviously they're not going to have every institution show up for the one grandioso day as we customarily have done it for years, and everybody just meet and just make a big day out of it. So they're going to break it down, and I was trying to figure out how would they systematically break this down if you got 3 days. And when you look at the numbers right now, of course, we still are sitting on the 10 affiliates to the conference. So if we were to just do a simple deduction, 3-3-4 would be the format. Now, which 3 would you have together on any given day? And then the 4. So if you look at this, I guess from a geographical approach, you would have to say the Mississippi schools would be 1 day. Mississippi Valley, Alcorn, and Jackson State. You know that Prairie View and Texas Southern would be together. Then you look at who do you potentially match them up with for that third wheel. And if you look systematically, if we were going geographically, as far as distance would go, Alcorn would actually be a good fit because of distance. But you wouldn't want to break up the 3 Mississippi schools. And so then you look and you say, well, maybe you could throw in a Pine Bluff. And it kind of makes sense. Pine Bluff technically is about 6-7 hours away from the Texas schools, the furthest Texas school anyway. So you could have them get together, and then I'm assuming that the other 4 will be Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Southern, and Grambling. So now I guess the pecking order, who would be on what day, is yet to be determined. But it'll be very interesting to see. It's going to be all by way of virtual review. And of course, we've been a part of the media day for quite some time now. We'll see where our role fits in, and we'll pass that information on to you. But it's going to be very, very enticing, I should say, to see how this one works out. 3 days of Football Madness from the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Other news throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference, of course, with the adding of FAMU to the SWAC family, the buzz is who will be number 12. A couple of obvious speculations that will go on there. We have an interview that's going to be lined up that might give us a little insight. We'll keep you hanging on that one. We'll take another quick break and we'll be right back. You listen to the Mike Prince Show, Football Friday edition. We'll be right back. It's the Open Mic Tele-Network line. Dial 720-721-1558. And instantly at your fingertips, you have the latest local news, weather, and sports. Need a word of encouragement? Dial 720-721-1558. The Open Mic Tele-Network line features weekly prayer, verse of the week, and local ministries at your fingertips. Everything you need on demand. Dial 720-721-1558. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No internet, no problem. No Wi-Fi, no problem. No app, no problem. All you need to do is dial 720-721-1558 to listen now. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show, reminding you guys about The Journey. The Journey is a talk show with a different twist for dynamic African-American women in the role of leadership when it comes to athletics to have roundtables each week with us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Dr. Kiki Barnes, Ms. Janet Easton, Alicia Burwell, and Danita Rogers, all representing their universities: Langston University, Dillard University, Lord's University, and Texas College. Be sure to check them out Wednesdays right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, unless you've been under a rock, there has been a slight upheaval in the state of Texas, Texas A&M, University of Texas, and across the country about removing of offensive paraphernalia, symbols, whatnot. The latest is now coming that the SEC is putting pressure on the Mississippi schools. Mississippi State and Ole Miss. So they have to get rid of the Confederate flags that hang, even pushing the envelope saying that they will start withholding certain funds if the schools do not quickly change their landscape. And of course, there is the Rebels that is associated with Ole Miss. Now, Ole Miss, for the record, they've had multiple attempts to change their name, but it's just like once you've been identified with something, it's pretty hard to shake. At one time, they were the Black Bears, I believe the Land Sharks, and a whole bunch of different attempts, but they are known as the Rebels. And speaking of Rebels, there is now kickback from UNLV. They said they have to change their name. It used to be the Running Rebels. Remember old Coach Sharp? And the pressure is ever so present about this wave of political correctness. I still say if you really want to make an impact and if you really want to scream out loud without screaming, if you're that offended as an African-American student athlete or even as a student, don't attend the institutions. Take your talents to other institutions that line up with your core values. And it does not necessarily mean that it has to be an HBCU. But if you find another institution that lines up with what you want to say, then go right ahead and do it. And I find this real interesting. If we really study history and understand history, there are going to be some differences. But tearing down these things and demanding that you change these if you want me to stay here. You speak louder by going somewhere else. The infamous Paul Bear Bryant, led the Texas A&M Aggies, but of course known for leading the Roll Tide. He was soundly beat by USC back in the early 50s or 60s. And he is on record for saying, after he was handled, that I got to get me some ends on my team. Now, that was back then. Do you, as an African-American student, not go to Roll Tide? Because you could read into that several different ways. The only reason here, because I'm an N and they want my talents to help them win games, or they really about helping me become a better person once my game days are over. I mean, so there's so many different ways that you could take this thing and mold it around. But all I'm saying is that whatever decision you make, whatever institution you decide to be connected to, research it. Find out what best fits you. And let me echo this. A lot of people are under the impression that if you join a certain division, that you have a better chance of going pro. That is not the case at all. If you have talent, if you have the character, if you have the skill sets and the demeanor, they will find you. So throw that in the garbage. Stop using that as a crutch. If you have the talent, they will find you. They were finding ball players before the Power Fives became Power Fives. There still were the Gramblin's, the Prairie Views, the Southern Universities, the Langston Universities. They were still finding the talent. It's like the old saying goes, you can run, but you can't hide. But that's neither here nor there. Latest reports coming from the UIL, which is the Interscholastical League for the state of Texas. They have released that you can start streaming Friday night football games live only for this season to help with those who would be weary about coming out in the midst of the pandemic that is floating mysteriously throughout the airwaves. That sounds good, but it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. We have scheduled some of our local high school football coaches and ADs coming up for next week. We'll talk to them, get their perspective on how things are going. We'll even reach out to a couple of the local junior college football coaches to get their gauges on things as well. Meanwhile, back to the poll that we ran. The question was simply this: do you believe it is best to sit out the 2020 season, assess, come up with a vaccine, just start all over for the 2021 season? And 71% that participated agreed that you should shut down the 2020 season and just come back for 2021. We'll discuss this a little bit further in detail on Sunday night on the Mike Prince Show live edition. Don't forget, we have scheduled to be with us Dr. Donald Reed, newly hired athletic director at Prairie View A&M University. I am going to exit stage left for right now. My time is far spent. I want to thank Rob Butler for his Southland report. Thank you all for your participation and celebration of the world of sports. Even though it has not been any game action, there's still been a lot of action. And be sure to follow us on our social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, to keep up with our latest tweets and news releases. Our YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. And don't forget, we have an on-demand listening center. Call in, listen to shows, interviews, and exclusive tidbits only at this number, 720-721-1558. I've got the exit stage left. My time is far spent. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, and as always, you guys be blessed. We'll see you on the other side.